Is CAD improving our designing skills, or is it just a tool? Can we design without it, or is that the way forward?
CAD is like a catalyst to whatever we imagine, whatever we create for ourselves. Because I was associated previously in academics also. I was a design faculty at INFD. So वहाँ पर even when we started studying in 2010, तो शुरू के first 2-3 years में we were very much emphasized कि हम पेपर पेन पर ही काम करें and बहुत religiously हम वो करते थे. So 5 साल बाद 6 साल बाद now trends are changing. They directly want to learn softwares and jump on to design. This is one thing which has changed now, but personally I feel कि जो basic हम paper पे create कर सकते हैं वो कभी हम AutoCAD पर direct create नहीं कर सकते, because it's a very restricted design practice. और syllabus में भी शुरुआत में AutoCAD should be there, but after at least 4 to 5 semesters they should be learning that. Along with that CAD के साथ में और भी जो भी advanced softwares है which later helps, because when we passed out we didn't know there were so many softwares existing. So अगर हमें academically we give them कि भाई ये तुम्हें आना चाहिए, so you do better technology wise, so they should be learning that before. But first primitively हमें पेपर नहीं छोड़ना चाहिए, जो कि स्टिल अभी भी हमारे जो सीनियर्स आर्किटेक्ट्स हैं जो 15 साल 20 साल से प्रैक्टिस कर रहे हैं, आई थिंक वो पेन और पेपर पे ही काम करते हैं अभी भी. दैट इज द की टू क्रिएटिविटी.
My question is to Shraddha now, which talks about advantages. Can you tell us about some advantages of CAD?
There's so many advantages of CAD. Over sketching, it saves so much time. Digital designing can be edited in same file, but through sketches we can't edit designs. We go through from beginning. We need some alteration in designing. We go from beginning. It's increase the productivity of designers. We easily communicate with our team members. When someone is designing, same drawing we share with other ones. Those who parallelly we make so many drawings at a time.
My next question would be to Ketki ma'am. How does CAD affect the designing skills and the ability to think and feel design?
Definitely, CAD is a catalyst in today's world for any designing purpose. Creativity जो है वो CAD के साथ भी आ सकती है, but it depends on the designer, because ultimately the input given is by designer. CAD is just the software which will put that input on the screen. अगर input देने में ही आप efficient नहीं हो तो even the CAD or any designing software will not help you. So definitely this creativity has to be there.
Can I ask Shikha next question? She said she can answer any questions in CAD. So I'm going to ask a very simple question. Do you think CAD adds stress in the mind of the designer? And how can you reduce that stress?
So I guess, yeah, definitely CAD adds stress to designing, because I'm a believer of process. And I think the process of designing, or the organic way in which you can come up with, or the fluidity of mind that you have, you can make anything out of your mind. But in CAD, you have to search for that certain tool to come up to that sort of fluidity. So once you are just drawing on a paper, it's endless speedy process. In CAD, I think you have to, and I think CAD doesn't add much to creativity, though it's a great tool. It has increased the productivity of our profession, but it does add stress to people who are not technical and who depend on other people for drafting. It definitely adds stress.
How do you overcome that?
Okay, I overcome that stress by telling my people to do things fast and proper way, and I just make a sketch and give it to them.
Okay, I thought you would listen to music if you want to reduce that. Kapoor, can you just broaden up or enlighten us with this idea how technology advancement in CAD can help students and professionals?
We are talking about technological advancement. So we can divide architect's life into 3 stages for that. First is initial days of a student's college life. First 3 years. These are basic. That time importance of technology is different. Last 2 years more towards professional approach, and after the college the importance of technology is entirely different for an architect. first 3 years should be with pen and pencil. An architect should learn the basic concepts. Once the basic concepts will be through for a student, then he will move ahead for next 2 years of his professional approach. After the college life, the technology is endless. We have seen Vivek Bole sir's presentation. I still remember his last time presentation about digital architecture. That was an eye-opener for all of us. So the technology is beyond limitations. We all should open our hands to invite all kind of technologies in every sector. Like we are talking about green building nowadays. In green building itself, technology is so vast. We have simulation technologies, we have Rhino, we have Grasshopper, all the technologies are there. So from a student's life to a professional life, technology always affect our life very much.
Well said, Apur. There are major challenges we are facing. Like he talked about the advantages, but there are major challenges also which CAD offers. Like, these viruses and all these problems of crashing of files, students coming to the class and saying, "Sir, सुबह तक काम किया था, but file crash हो गया. अभी computer नहीं चल रहा है. So we can't do anything, no printouts." So how do you think, or what is your way of overcoming these kind of problems? Do you have any insight about that?
Thank you so much firstly for inviting me to the panel. I think this is the major problem which students ask for, and I have also faced the same. In the morning the students come up, "Ma'am, crash ho gaya, we don't have anything for the jury." I think we should encourage students to take a backup. Nowadays in this digital world, everybody is using Google. So I think taking a backup of each and everything is option 1. Option 2, which is not so common, we never complete work on time. That's I think the major thing. We as an architect, last time we pen pencil leke kuch na kuch we keep on doing things. So I think working in
तुम्हें लगता है
advance.
ऐसा है विवेक सर के प्रोजेक्ट्स देख के कि टाइम पे कंप्लीट नहीं होते?
But every
What
time.
would be his age? And imagine the work he has completed.
But most of the students, when we are talking about last moment, they keep on working. So I think asking them to work in prior or taking backups is the.
But that you are basically focusing is only on academics. But CAD is not only limited or restricted to only students. All architects are practicing it. All architects have a backup server, exactly. But is there a solution? Are we still struggling with the solution?
I think we are still struggling with this.
Okay, now how many people agree to CAD and how many people agree to pencil? Amongst the panel I have. Can we have first as CAD, people who agree with CAD?
Architecture as a profession is multi-layered and designing is a part of it. So whenever, like as I said, I am a believer in process. If a project is there, no matter what scale is, the initial designing or the process of conceptualization happens in your head. It doesn't happen on paper or not even on screen. So what is there in your head, it's a reflex action. I would try to just take it out, what is there in my head, or I'll play with pencil or doodle. So I think it's a process of creating the idea. Then the execution of the idea definitely needs some technical support which comes from CAD and other softwares. And it's a necessity because looking at the current scenario, the kind of time we have, limitations of time, limitations of budget, handwork is extensive and expensive. If I want, I can have draftsmen at my office and he would take years drawing 20 sheets and CAD can just give me multiple copies. So I am talking about the basic thing, that the way organically an idea generates in your head and you put it on a paper, it's absolutely a virgin process that cannot be compared to anything else. I don't think a person can be very fluid and creative on screen with a mouse pad. They can be very fluid, very creative, very organic with a paper and a pen. And then later on, when you build up the concept and when you execute the concept, definitely all the rest of the technicalities and softwares come handy.
On that note, I'll just throw that question to the audience. How many people still put that idea on paper before they draft it on?
Okay, audience.
You see the architect. That's the beauty of architecture, you know. Everybody, I would say, people, I still have friends or architects who get up early in the morning at 4 o'clock because there's that idea that the problem which they slept with, had a solution and they would just sit up and sketch it up.
I would like to support CAD. There are two reasons I would like to give.
You can have n number of it.
Most of you here are very senior architects, and as I said, he has 35 employees in his office, and lot of you must be having 50 employees. When you hire any candidate, the first thing what you other than the education, what you ask for, how many softwares you can use. And that is the basic reason that you think, okay, if someone comes that I have a very good sketching, skills, but you will not go for that this thing. Otherwise, you will put a condition to that okay, you learn the software, we will sponsor your course or whatever, and then we will hire you. But you need a person who is well aware of the CAD softwares. My second point to support the CAD is, we are talking about here the generation which we are talking is the coming generation I want to talk. So this generation is digital native generation. And if you give them paper and pencil, they will start losing the interest and enthusiasm in the course of maybe engineering or architecture, anything. So giving them a proper tool like digital media, their creativity will be more in the coming generations.
Creative process, any creative process is twofold. The first one is running your brain. When you run your brain, when you have to travel, when you want to plan your travel itinerary, do you drive a car and then decide? You don't. You plan it in your mind. When you want to cook a dish, you plan it in your mind. When you want to sing a song, it comes from your heart and mind. So, and then you can record it and you can broadcast. Or if you want to write a paragraph, you have to conceive it in your head. You can't start typing. You conceive it on paper in your brain, and then you type it, and you send it across. You want to make a dress, you have to conceive it, and then you start putting it on sewing machine. Creative process is twofold. Both are necessary. First, brain and paper. The fastest tool is your brain. It comes to your hand in your pencil on one sketch on back of your notepad. You can create a project. And then, of course, you need CAD. That is the second part. You can't live without it.
We never debated that. We
need both. We need both.
See, I
You
understand.
can't live with one. They're debating either or. It's not either or.
Sir, we were talking about understanding, and definitely I would use a word called adaptivity. You need to grow. We cannot live in the same old world. I understand that, and that is what we are talking about, to get that awareness and how to overcome some challenges. There will be challenges anyways. See,
I'm saying we need both.
Yeah, of course.
Paper and
you
then
have to
AutoCAD.
adapt it and you have to grow.
I can't come from Delhi to Udaipur in walking. I need a plane later on.
Of course. So CAD is there. Mukul sir wants to say something? Gaurav wanted to say something.
I'll share an anecdote with everyone. एक्चुअली जो डिस्कशन हुआ ना कंप्यूटर पेपर, ये बहुत सालों से चल रहा है, अभी से नहीं है. इनफैक्ट जब हम कॉलेज में थे तो हमारे टीचर्स का एक वो था डिबेट कि फर्स्ट ईयर के बच्चे पैरेलल बार यूज कर सकते हैं क्या. मतलब टी स्क्वायर और पैरेलल बार के बीच में झगड़ा था. तो फिर हम सारे फर्स्ट ईयर वालों को बोल दिया गया था, खबरदार पैरेलल बार यूज किया तो यू विल यूज अ टी स्क्वायर ओनली, क्योंकि टी स्क्वायर से आपका हाथ का जो बैलेंस है ना वो सेट होगा. उसके बाद आप सेकेंड या थर्ड ईयर में यू विल बी अलाउड टू बाय अ पैरेलल बार. सो वी आर एक्चुअली हैविंग अ सिमिलर डिस्कशन हियर.
Gaurav wanted to say something.
Yeah, I just want to share something. In 2006, I met an accident and my humerus bone got fractured. This bone. Fine, it was just a fracture. But the problem was there's a radial nerve which goes beneath this humerus bone. And this radial nerve has all the function of extension. Hand up, arm straight, wrist movement, fingers. And the other one is the motor nerve which has this contraction part. Now, I got it operated and then I rejoined my office after 15 days. I still have a plate in my humerus bone. So my client says, Gaurav ji वापस office आ गए? मैं कहा हाँ जी आ गए. बोले सर वो एक फ्लोरिंग डिजाइन पेंडिंग चल रही है, उसको आप कर दो. And Sheetal is a witness because myself and Sheetal were working together that time. Then I realized कि since I was not able to hold a pencil, my hand was like this. You know, I can't open up my fingers. So when I can't hold a pencil and when I can't draw a line, I can't think of the second line. That time I realized our hand and brain work simultaneously. क्योंकि ये एक्सपीरियंस आप लोगों ने नहीं किया, एक्सपीरियंस मैंने किया, इसलिए मैं बहुत आराम से बोल सकता हूँ. दिस इज द फैक्ट. एंड सिंस इट वाज माय राइट हैंड, सो आई हैव टू डू फिजियोथेरेपी लाइक एनीथिंग. इसके 8 से 10 महीने लगे थे वापस से रिवाइव होने में नर्व को. वो 8 से 10 महीने का जो पीरियड था, इट वाज लाइक क्या मेरा सीधा हाथ खत्म हो गया है. इफ इट वुड हैव बीन अ लेफ्ट हैंड, शायद ही मेरा हाथ खत्म ही हो जाता, क्योंकि मैं उस पर काम ही नहीं करता. बट दैट टाइम आई हैव एक्चुअली मैं रियलाइज दैट एंड फेस दैट. Thank you.
A very fast pace towards digitization. Now there is augmented reality. CAD is a past now. We have moved on to augmented reality. We can just show the whole thing in 3D on our screen, or we can change the interior or exterior layers in a jiffy. So I think the digital advancement is incomparable, and with the time it's going to help in every possible way. But I think what I understood the discussion was whether I prefer a CAD thing process or a sketch process. I think what Sir said is what I'm trying to put, that initial process as a design happens on paper, and then now the world of digitization is endless. I think the latest is augmented reality, where we don't even need to do anything, and the whole thing is there in front of us in 3 dimension. So it's haptic. Yeah. He's the right guy to talk about the advancement in designing. But I think I salute to all the things that are happening and what we have witnessed today. But I think slow living and the process, enjoying the process, is the major joy when it comes to designing. That's it. Thank you.
Thank you so much for being on the panel. It was a pleasure having all of you here. And I would thank the organizers again for such a learning, knowledgeable series here.